All right, guys, welcome. We are back. We are the Lorcana Beehive. My name's
Let's
Kevin.
go.
I'm here with Justin and with Sam. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great, and I'll have to add, I'm the newly certified lore guide, Justin. So, just
Whoa.
in case I'm kind of a big deal. In case you
Dang.
He
guys
is.
are wondering.
Recertified. He can
Yeah,
pass it twice, guys.
He
yeah,
can.
yeah. I got two of them. Two of them.
That's impressive. Honestly, is it put in the chat for anyone that's also passed it twice, guys?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you passed it on multiple accounts like me, I may have
Yeah.
passed it on my account, my son's account. My wife and I were working on hers last night. It's great.
Yep. There's going to be a new record. Whoever can
Family
pass
of
it the
lore
most.
guides.
Indeed.
But this is episode 19 of the Lore Lowdown, and we have a lot of information to bring to you today. It is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but
Mhm.
we want to spend all of our time as effectively as possible, giving you guys the best content.
Indeed.
So let's get going.
So exciting. So I think first on the docket,
A moment of
we have
silence, maybe?
motive of silence. Hiram Flaversham.
Pour
He's
one out for your
gone.
bud.
He's gone, but not forgotten. He's gone forever. I have probably 20 copies of Hiram Flaversham. They're gonna sit there doing nothing. But I wanted you guys to know I prepared a eulogy for Hiram. If that's okay, I'd like to say a few words about the mouse before we call the chapter closed. So, um, we are gathered here today to mark the end of Hiram Flaversham, a mouse defined by a singular cold-blooded mission. To many, he was a shadow. To Popsicle and Fortisphere, he was the ultimate foe. He did not merely disagree with them, he dedicated every waking moment to their total destruction. So raise your glasses to the Punisher of Popsicle, the Flinger of Fortisphere. Rest in peace, Hiram Flaversham, Toymaker.
That's right.
It's the end.
Beautiful,
It's the end.
beautiful.
The end of an era. He's gone. Can't
Yep.
play
He's
him at
out of
all.
here.
Nope. He's gone.
Except
So,
except for on your tabletop games. They
yeah.
definitely
Oh,
said
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Friends
When
and
you,
family can still experience the full strength of Hiram Flavorsham.
we do have a section later where we're talking about casual play. So there you go. Right.
That's it.
We can
That's
bring
it.
Hiram out for the casual events. Right.
Steve Warner says to do it.
Yeah.
The ruler of casual meta.
Indeed. Indeed. He owns it.
Yeah.
Poor Hiram. So what does this
So,
mean? I mean,
yeah.
guys, like this is crazy. We talked about it so much where we were like, something's got to change with Infinity. Is this the change that we were hoping to see?
I
I'm gonna say
think
no.
my first reaction was, oh, that's lame. They chose the laziest option. But I don't know.
Yep.
Some pros disagree, some pros agree.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My first thought was, oh, this only punishes red blue. What the heck? Why would you do that? What
Hmm.
like half the time when you play blue steel, you're like, oh, Hiram's just okay here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play all of these other items and you can still get to like 19 items on board with a dime and a Tamatoa. So I think
Right.
I think Hiram's ban is a little interesting. I get that it's overpowered in some fashion in the format, right? It's definitely
Yeah.
one of the strongest cards, top three for sure.
Oh,
For sure.
100%.
But I feel like my opinion is that this just opens some sort of floodgate, and now they're just going to be targeting cards left and right because like there's so many other cards you could target too. There's Whole New World.
Hmm.
Diablo.
There's Prince John. There's Diablo. There's
Cinderella.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how it works, but my fear is that it only impacted red blue, and then because of that, Steel Song is just gonna terrorize the meta, and then you're gonna have like
Hmm.
this meta that's blue steel, Steel Song, and green steel discard, which like I don't know, those are very strong decks
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
very very punishing play styles, right? Like green steel is just gonna ruin your hand. You're gonna hate playing against it, and then same thing with Steel Song. You're gonna think like you're ahead, and then they just steal like whole new world and then kill you.
Yeah. Well, I think the challenge too is that all of those decks are you're very helpless as the opponent,
Yep.
right? Like your
Hmm.
opponent does their thing and you're kind of like, all right, cool. Like I might as well go and get a drink and come back because it's just like there's nothing I can do to impact this game. So,
And
Well,
I feel
so
like it's weird to take red blue out of the meta because like Be Prepared is the only thing holding some of these cards back, right? Like you build this big warded board in green steel, or you build this
hmm
huge board in like Steel Song. Like, what do you do if you don't have Be Prepared? Like, you can't get whole new worlded into Be Prepared if your deck sucks. You're not playing red blue otherwise.
Mhm.
I mean, we also can't remove every value engine in the game, though, right? Like, obviously, Hiram was the top tier for value. He was drawing cards left and right every single turn.
Mhm.
But if we remove all the value engines in the game that even have any leg up against any other value engine in any other color, like where does that set us as a game? Like you have to have some value somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think it's okay to have strong cards,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
will find a way to use them in interesting ways. I think it's in my opinion, my dream ban in Infinity would have been Lucky Dime. I think it would have
Mhm.
hit like
Mm,
the problem with those decks rather than like letting them do cool things. Because if you think about it, like what does Hiram do in a blue steel deck that doesn't can't win with Dime? Like it
Yeah.
just sits there and draws you cards, but what do the cards do? They control the board a little bit, and then how do you
hmm
close it out?
Yeah.
So I think it would have been interesting emergent gameplay to do like a ban on dime, and then see where it goes from there. If you think blue steel was too strong, which I don't know, a lot of the Infinity heads are torn on the opinion. I haven't played enough of the meta to have a have a say.
I mean,
Sure.
I'm kind of in the same boat where I haven't played a whole ton of Infinity,
Mhm.
and to be completely honest with you, when Dime was in the meta, I did not like playing against it.
Yeah.
It felt very powerless when they played Dime for free and then just started, going crazy with Tamatoa.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
and Blue Steel doesn't really care about Hiram Band because they can just play what is it, the Maurice's Workshop? Feels like the
Yeah.
same card.
hmm
Yeah.
And they still, I mean, honestly, if we're really looking at blue and we're looking at the most powerful card in blue, I don't even think it's Dime or Hiram. I think it's Sail. Sail
Right.
is the most powerful card in blue and
Yeah.
probably the entire game. So, like,
Yeah.
if we're
Card's
gonna
really
go after
good.
power cards, it's that one.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really tough too, because when you like maybe thinking about this on the other side of it, it could be a strategy to prevent long games is my initial thought here is like Hiram just kind of prolongs the games into an extent where you can keep drawing cards, keep drawing into answers.
hmm
Where if you're not able to keep drawing into those answers, then the game has to end at some point, and maybe that's the strategy. Maybe it's like, well, we wanted to stop the games from going to time constantly, and that could have been the thought process
Mm,
here, where you still have these like powerful decks that you're not going to turn away. But that's what Red Blue did, right? Red Blue just kind of kept the game going forever because it was like, oh, here's a Be Prepared, and then now you have to play around the next Be Prepared. You can't just drop your whole hand because if you do,
hmm
then you're kind of sunk. And then even then, when Red Blue took control of the board, it took them a while to get over the finish line still. Like it was 2, 3 turns later that you were back to that whole powerless statement. You were powerless because you couldn't draw enough cards fast enough to be able to close out the game on them. So maybe it's that.
Sure.
Well, my opinion is the next Infinity event you see, you're still going to see the top like four decks. You're going to see Red Blue, you're going to see Blue Steel, you're going to see Steel Song, and you're going to see Green Steel. I
Yeah.
don't think
hmm
anything's really changing. Oh, and Amber Steel aggro.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's at least one aggro deck in there. There has to be.
Yeah,
To be fair, the
but
red blue deck that played the Tamatoa that returns 2 items to your hand, that deck still drew a ton of cards because you
yeah,
would
I
Yeah.
mean
cycle the popsicles,
it's
right?
just going
Yeah.
to be the Maurice's Workshop build like that emerged
hmm
right after Hiram got banned in the first place. I think it's going to be just as strong. It's not
Hmm.
like it removed it, but we'll
I,
see.
yeah.
It's an interesting choice. I'm glad they're taking a maybe they feel like item removal is so prevalent now with like 12 sets worth of cards that it's not so bad, but Hiram was the problem card. I can agree with them at some
Yeah.
point, but my initial knee-jerk reaction was like, what?
Yeah. Hiram, poor
Huh?
Hiram. Missed that mouse.
Poor Hiram.
It's all right. Just play the one that lets you quest for 3, and then reminisce about your Hiram that drew
Yeah,
you cards. So
that's right.
As as you gain lore left and right, you can still, wipe away a tear for your lost mouse.
indeed, poor mouse. It is what it is. But yeah, I think I mean it is something that's encouraging to say that they said actually we're thinking about this format. Actually, we want the DLC to be a different of a competition. Also answers the question of whether or not they released anything in Wilds Unknown that impacted Infinity. Probably not. I think they're pretty confident that Infinity's not going to change much going into
They
set
definitely
12.
wouldn't have impacted Hiram's
No,
playability.
so
Nope,
that's
not at all.
the I think that my thought process. So it's like, well, I guess we aren't going to see Brawl in Wilds Unknown. I guess that's what that means, right? So
They need to
Ever,
reprint that card.
ever
that card
hopeful.
was so great against Hiram, right? They play the Hiram, then the next turn you played the Brawl, and you're like, all right, we're good to go now. It's fine.
Mhm.
Well, they still got two cards off of him, probably, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, it still feels kind of bad.
yeah. But yeah, it's
But
too bad. Miss Hiram. We'll miss him. We love him to death. But it's good to see some changes. Infinity is going to be interesting. Yeah, like you were saying, we think Steel Song might just take it over, but I'd have to agree with that. Honestly, I think Steel Song just has no check anymore. So
Yeah. Well, it just
everyone
depends, right? I don't know.
break out the
That
potty
red blue
pockets, guys.
deck can go, but might be a little too quick on the steel song.
yep,
We got Piglet in Infinity. We got freaking Piglet, man.
freaking Piglet, man.
You can play two different kinds of piglets.
We
Yeah.
got Piglet, and Nala.
And
Hmm.
Lilo, man. Lilo's cannot be discounted. The ones
And
that
Lilo.
remove damage. It's exciting.
Hmm.
All right. Well, moving on though. I mean, that was great. We'll miss Hiram. We're
Bye
moving on
bye.
to some really exciting stuff. Speaking of set 12 though, Wilds Unknown leaks. We got quite a few of them. Sam shared a couple here with me, so I'm gonna go ahead and share those on the screen and we'll run through them real quick and talk about these individual cards and maybe give our opinions on them. Way too early opinions on them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
quite early, but I think the mechanic they're highlighting here is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All
So
right, it's
like,
up on the screen. We got Pocahontas first.
Four
yeah,
drop, 4/5. Okay. Deal.
they're doing something when you quest and have another conditional, right? So if you played
Hmm.
another character this turn, you get to do stuff, and they did this for each color. Now we don't know if there are going to be more of these cards in the set, right? Right now they revealed and their promos are one of each color, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So Pocahontas returns a location card from your discard to your hand. Pretty can be pretty cool. Have you guys seen that Amber Steel location deck that Earlmeister tried to play?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, maybe some synergy there.
It is very
So,
important too from from a rules standpoint. Whenever this character quests, that's when it goes into the bag.
Yep.
And
hmm
then the condition of if you played a character this turn does not have to be true for that to enter the bag. So it only has to be true when it exits the bag because this is that secondary condition rule that they wrote into the new
right.
rules where it doesn't have to be true when it enters, just when it exits.
So that would only be relevant if I had another card that was like when you quest, you can play a card from your hand, something like
Right.
that.
Or
Exactly.
it's like,
Or when an
I don't know, maybe you didn't have a character and you questing. Well, oh, if you have what's it called? The song that lets you draw a card when you quest, right? So if you didn't
Mhm.
have cards in hand
mm,
besides the what is it? The Whisper of the Willow, is that the one?
right. Wisdom
And
of the
you
Willow.
Wisdom of the Willow, you pay four, and then every time you quest, you draw a card. So you
Hmm
you can play that card, quest with her, the trigger enters the bag, draw a card. Now you've drawn a character, play the character, and then you can pull the item out of the bag.
Wait,
Hmm.
really?
I
Oh no,
don't.
you can't do that.
There's no
No,
I was
way.
like,
no, you
No, it's
couldn't
there's
do
no
like
that.
way.
No, you couldn't do that because you have
something
to
would
empty
have
the
to.
bag after it enters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Something
that's
would
weird.
have to enter the
Yeah.
bag that also lets you play a
Play a
character.
Interesting.
character.
I'm
For that to be
wondering if the
relevant.
rest of the cards have similar abilities though. I'm gonna read through
So
these. These are my first time. Sorry, these are my first time
No,
seeing these cards, so this is
I love the
exciting.
speculation. Like let's
I
break them.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
gonna be
too.
interesting.
So we would need something like on quest, you can banish
Play
a
a card
character,
or
and then you
something.
can
Something. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, you can banish Mufasa, who then top decks a character, and
it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. On
Yeah. On
quest, you
quest
I
banish
banish.
Mufasa.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah
More reasonable.
Yeah,
yeah
return a
absolutely.
location card from your discard to your hand. Okay, cool. So yeah, location synergy. Let's go to the next one, Cinderella. Whenever this character quests, if you played another character this turn. Okay, so they're all if you played another character
Hmm
this turn. Okay.
Mhm.
Dang it. I was hoping they'd be like, whenever this character quests, if you played an action this turn, or like
I-
it's something like that, right? Like,
If you dealt
let's
damage.
not speak too soon. Like I think that could be that could happen,
yeah.
That these could be just
Absolutely.
the character flavor. There could be the action flavor or the banished flavor.
Yeah. Top
You
card of
may
your
put
deck into your inkwell face down exerted. Okay.
because
It's a
because blue
Cinderella at
ramps, right?
home.
It's a
Yeah.
ramp.
hmm
Okay. That's good.
Blue, and that's not. I mean, honestly, that's not terrible.
Yeah,
I
double
mean,
Cindy on 4. Let's go.
right.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
like it.
the one thing that's kind of a bummer about these is that you don't get any effect the turn of, right? So if you play and then it gets
Removed.
removed, then
Yeah.
you're just SOL, right?
You're feeling
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Those are always really
Yeah.
tough. One of the hardest conditional cards to work with is when you have to quest with them in order to do it.
hmm
That's why I really think it would be great if we had some sort of like rush for questing,
Mm.
right? Like you may
Mm.
quest the turn you play this card.
Yeah.
That would be really cool if we had some sort of fun like synergy that
Dude,
way.
could you imagine if they made like an Aurora-like effect where this card gives all your other cards that ability, and then you just play
Ooh,
that in an aggro deck?
be
You
kind of
just
nasty.
dump 5 cards and just quest with all of
Right?
them. Gross.
Whenever this character quests, if you play another character this turn, chosen character gains rush. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think
Okay.
it's red is rush, blue is ramp,
Ramp. hmm
green is turn something ward. No, banish
Mhm.
chosen damaged character. Okay.
Yep.
Mm.
All very
Also,
similar themes.
quest for 3
Jeez.
though. That's
That's
crazy.
a 6 drop though. It's not a four
That's
drop.
expensive.
That's pricey.
You may draw a card. No, I thought this was going to be draw a card. That'd have been
No, it's
crazy.
not that. It is pretty good though. I think
You may exert chosen opposing character. That's pretty crazy.
That's not bad.
yeah, that card's gonna be good post rotation when you lose Elsa, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Elsa at
I
home,
think you
right?
also have like what Isis Vanderchill and a couple
Hmm.
of other ones that'll be
You
interesting.
got options.
Yeah. Chosen opposing character can't challenge and must quest during the. Oh, so it's Gaston. Let's go.
That's not bad.
Boosted Gaston with an aerial.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
That's
not
fun.
terrible.
There you go. 3/3 quest for 2. Yeah, these are interesting. I'm excited to see if they have a place. I
I'm
think it'll be really
I
interesting
think
to see how they kind of fall in.
I think they're gonna be pretty powerful and sealed because you're only playing
Oh
characters turn after
yeah.
turn.
Yeah, not a lot of removal.
Not a lot of removal,
Yeah.
Well, I wonder how much
especially
of these were designed for post rotation too.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I
When
mean,
is
it's
rotation happening? It should be like end of the
October-ish.
year,
Yeah. Well,
right?
September,
no,
October, right?
no. I think it's earlier than that
Is
because
it?
the
Really?
I think the national NA championships are post rotation.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's happening like in a
I,
couple, like back in at the end of summer.
yeah,
Right,
kind of
like
like
August.
August area. Yeah, pretty
Ooh,
sure.
that's exciting. Okay.
So say goodbye to a lot.
Yeah. No,
A
there's so
Not
many things that
lot.
we're losing. That's going to have to be a really
mm-hmm.
good episode for us to go through is just everything that's going away post rotation, right? Like
Yeah,
Hmm.
people are going to
absolutely.
be cooking big time after rotation again. Very
Jeez.
exciting.
Okay.
All right. I mean, those are fun little I guess reveals. I'm excited to see them. Hopefully they have, something that works. I think like we were talking about, it's really tough when it's like you have to quest with it because it's got to live for a
Mm-hmm.
turn before you can get
Hmm.
the benefit out of it. But, maybe it's just one of those things where there's so many other cards that are lightning rods that maybe, if you load up the board with things that do something on quest, it just becomes which problem do you want to remove off the board, right? Like
Right.
Yeah.
that could be the
Mm-hmm.
thing. So who knows?
Then there was one more that's the family scattered enchanted,
Oh, okay.
which is not bad. I mean, it's the 8 cost emerald action uninkable. It says chosen opponent chooses 3 of their characters and returns those cards to their hand.
No,
Oh,
one
sorry.
of
It
them.
returns one of those cards to their hand, puts one on the bottom of their deck, and puts one on the top of their deck.
For all you
You know,
Yu-Gi-Oh heads out here, this is just Trishula at home.
Oh,
well, the
really?
thing that drives me crazy about this, yeah, sure, that's a great ability to an extent. When in the crap am I playing an 8 cost uninkable action? Like when is
Yeah.
that ever happening?
I don't
There's
know. I
no
feel like
chance.
this is like
And
Interesting. I don't
I
know,
mean,
but it's so
people,
much worse than Raging Storm. Are you kidding me?
It's so
yeah.
expensive, and yeah, like you're targeting three cards,
If
great, but
I got
like,
to choose, it would be better.
yeah,
I'd be more happy about it, but no.
Hmm.
If it was a song, it would be cool, but like I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
needs to be a song, sing together or something. Like
Yeah.
it's my wife. Shout out to my wife, Alicia, you're awesome. Um, she keeps explaining to me that it seems like somebody doesn't like Maribel because every card they print with her on it is just
No,
completely unplayable.
it's
Like,
trash.
there's not one playable Maribel card in the game.
Ah, it's pretty cool art.
Yeah, it's great
Oh,
art.
it's
Like
gorgeous art.
most of the Mirabelle art is great. It's just, like Mystical and Fantastical is a beautiful
Hmm.
card, and Mirabelle, like even the Set Champs promo is a pretty card, but like
Hmm.
they're just unplayable cards. Like you can
Yeah.
never put them on the board.
Like you can't even just slap this in green blue for the fun of it. It's like it's way too unplayable.
No, it's
You're gonna
expensive.
TPO or Cinderella that every game you have it.
Yeah, it's super
Right.
expensive. You're like, I think Kevin, shout out to you. You were talking about your Iago synergies, right? Like throw in the Iago that lets you pay two less for an action. But even then, it's a six cost
Yeah.
uninkable. It
Yeah.
still
I was
hurts.
like,
It's
Would
so
you like to play
expensive.
Spooky Side or this?
Yeah,
right,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, Spooky
Well,
Side definitely go better.
would you rather play Under the Sea or this?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
Oh, oh yeah.
that's
let's play Under
crazy.
the Sea.
That's crazy. What is
So
he
yeah,
doing?
sorry Mirabelle, sorry Familia Madrigal. You guys are still struggling over there.
Maribel's gonna be our new justice for Grandma Tala.
There you go.
Come on. You have to put two of these in your deck and win a set champs, and you're gonna
What
do
Mega
is
it.
that?
So
bounty. If you put four of the Mirabelle that
four
requires
of,
five characters in your deck and you
Oh
win a
my
set champs,
gosh.
oh my
get a
God.
box.
You get a box. Be crazy. And
And
you
you
can't
have to
just
play
anchor.
into it. And
You
you
can't just
can't
anchor
just
every time.
it cannot be a card that says this card is ink. You
Yep.
have to play.
Actually use them.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
has to
yeah.
be a deck designed around it.
Indeed, indeed. It's so funny. Poor Maribel. Yeah, my
Yep,
wife pointed
she
that out, and I was like, you know what? You're right. Every single time they print a Mirabelle card, you just can't play it.
hmm
That's crazy.
One day, one day. I think the closest to playable card was probably the sister, forget her name, the
Uh,
Isabella Madrigal in
oh
like
yeah, she was awesome. She was a
the
good
evasive
replacement
one.
for
Yeah.
um oh no, I thought you were talking about the one that had Rush that was like basically a more balanced Fox.
Oh, yeah, no, she was okay. She was okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the one that had evasive and then quested.
The
If
one
you're she was the first one to quest, she quested for like
Oh yeah,
three.
Isabella, yeah.
the
Yeah.
one with the ears was okay. It was played in some purple steel for a
Yeah.
while.
Hmm.
Dolores.
Yep.
Dolores, right.
Yep, Dolores Madrigal. Yep. All
It's okay.
right.
We'll get a Madrigal meta going on soon, I'm
I
sure.
sure hope so.
Well, that's the thing is we need to hopefully lean into it. I think there was some other reveals that are in a different language, if I recall correctly, for like a Snow White and Seven Dwarfs synergy list
Yeah,
of
there's a
continuous
picture
art
that went
cards, right?
around that,
Hmm.
but you couldn't like see what the effects were. You just saw that they exist, and they're purple. So
All
Amethyst
of
gets.
them. Hmm.
And they're continuous art too, so it was kind of
Hmm.
fun to see that
Yeah.
impact there. So very
I
exciting.
hope Doc just says you can discard your hand and you draw two,
That would be crazy. Can you imagine just reprinting Doc
but in
in
purple.
purple? Oh my gosh.
It'd be
The
great.
the
Every
No,
single
no, no,
single
no,
pitch
player
no.
would
books,
lose
grab your
it.
I think it
sword,
should
grab your
be two
bow.
uninkable, and it should just say you draw two cards.
Just draw two cards
Just drop
when
two
you play
cards.
this
Come on, it's
character.
purple.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't have
purple. You just draw
drawbacks.
cards. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, moving on with our next agenda item, though, we have our local events, right? We want to talk about some local events.
Yeah, what do we
Speaking
have
of
coming
local
up?
events, what do we have yesterday?
What did we have
Were
yesterday?
you at the 1K, Sam?
I was not.
You weren't at the 1K. All right,
Unfortunately, I could not attend.
so Hearthside Games had another Win an Enchanted or Win an Iconic 1K for the
Oh,
Pocahontas this time.
how'd it
Uh,
go?
it went well. 31 players, so huge turnout
That's
as it
awesome.
always has been, right? So 31 players is great. I think when I was looking at the numbers, it really needs to be approximately 30 players for these shops to kind of justify these 1Ks. And
Hmm.
so I say all that to say good on you players because you're doing exactly what you need to do to keep these 1Ks going and
Hmm.
keep these fun events going. Because I know that was something when I first started playing that I was like, oh, everybody just wants to play more. And
Hmm.
they want to play more, not just from a like set champs perspective or from a casual play perspective. They want to play competitive tournaments that have like a good purse. And so that was really important to see that we're still kind of keeping that going at Hearthside. Uh, Shout outs to Anthony Eckroth for taking it down. I don't
That's
know what he
right.
was playing,
Hey,
but he crushed it. He beat Jacob Rasmussen in the final. So shout outs to both of them for a great
nice.
day, obviously. But big shouts outs to Eckroth for taking it down. Good job. And yeah, I'm excited to see what his deck list was. I know Andre got the ink deck submission in today, so it should be ready by tomorrow. And then we'll
Yes.
I
post that
have
in the Discord.
I have a sneaking suspicion it was Amber Ruby.
Amber Ruby. Ooh,
Hmm.
let's go. That's exciting.
Hmm. Don't quote me
Well,
on that. And if the ink deck comes out, you cannot vilify me.
I will not. No, no hate over here, Sam. Just,
No, I
we
mean the
understand.
audience. The
Oh,
audience cannot
oh, that's fair.
vilify
Yeah.
me. Right.
Yeah, obviously we can't, the audience can never vilify Sam. So they got to be focused on me the
Ever.
whole time because I'm over here hating on Goliath and all kinds of other
Yeah.
different things. So just focus on Judge Justin. He's the problem. That's good
Let's see.
times.
I'm
Well,
innocent.
congratulations. That's awesome. I knew that they were doing that. I just forgot the day. I was working, or else I would have been there.
Yep. No, it
And
was a busy day for me yesterday, so I wasn't able to attend, but yeah, it was very exciting. I'm super happy to see these 1Ks kind of continuing on. And then
Yes.
just as a quick plug for Hearthside, they have another 1K that is going to be happening um at the end of set champs in May. So
Nice.
keep an eye out for that one when you're done with
okay.
set champs. If you're haven't had enough card gaming at that point, go jump into those 1Ks and win another iconic. That one is for the iconic Moana. So very excited for
Oh,
There's
that one.
wonderful.
something to be said about this lull we're about to have with no competitive, like DLC level events, right?
Right.
Hmm.
It's up to us to really get a good local scene going
Yep.
and play for what we care about.
Well, and that's
Well,
where showing up is the most important thing, right? Because these
Absolutely.
shops can justify doing a big tournament if we show up for it. If we don't show up
sure.
for it, if there's, 12 people at a 1K, they're going to be like, well, that's not what we need. We need people in the doors. Because at the end of the day, they are a business, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, they're doing this out of the love for the community. They love us all. They want us to have a place to play, but they also need to make money because they are a business.
Yep.
Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense. So,
Well, I
I
really
mean,
like to shout out all the stores that are like sourcing these cards too for like the prizes.
hmm
It's
yeah.
cool that they're grabbing enchanteds and iconics and giving them back
and
to the community in a way that we really like. Actually, we're showing up for these events. There's product plus the card. It feels good.
hmm
It also
it
gives
does.
a very organic incentive to play out
Hmm.
because it's so how many times you gone to a 1K and they're
It's
like,
just
hey, top
chopped.
four is going to chop, right? Like
Yeah,
every time,
exactly.
right? It gives you a really good reason to play out. And I think we have to give credit where credit's due. Game Grid Lehigh, I think, started the hey, win a cool card and that incentivize hey play out get this card and then obviously Hearthside took it one step further with their 1K and then
Hmm.
Game Grid Lehigh continues to do it as well so it's super
Well, and
exciting.
another shout out to Anthony Eckroth. He is adamantly in the no chop camp. We're not
Oh, nice.
chopping. If he plays in a tournament, you're not chopping.
Really?
Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome. I
play
love
it out
that.
always.
That's good.
That's cool. I like that.
Hmm.
The and as a little bit of a spoiler, I have on good authority that there's at least two more 1Ks plus Iconics in the near future for our local scene.
Let's go.
So keep an eye on the skies, guys. We're gonna get those announced as soon as we can.
Yeah, we'll let you know, and hopefully we'll be there to
Yeah,
support as
exactly.
well.
Yep. Final plug for game stores in general. There is currently going on a vote for your favorite game store in Salt Lake City
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really?
option. Yeah, I was shout outs to Josh Wee from Oasis Games reached out to me. It was like, hey, there's a thing happening where it's vote your favorite best or your favorite game store of Salt Lake City. I don't know if it's just Salt Lake City area or if it's like the entire Salt Lake Valley.
Is it
Um,
for a magazine or something?
I believe it's for, let's see what it says here.
Newspaper?
It says app.bestofslc.com. Yeah,
Well,
I
I just
don't
mean
know.
uh, that would be like who's doing the survey, but I wonder what if they're gonna put it in like an article or top
Yeah, it says
five or
choose the
something.
best game store. Okay, it looks like we have in here demo, Gajo Games. I don't even know who that is. Game Changers, Game Night Games, Level One Gamers, Mind Games, Oasis Games,
Mm,
Riftgate Games, Salt Lake
I
or
see
Salt
it.
City Games, and Warhammer. So
Hmm.
potentially it says to choose your favorite, but there might be like I guess more being added potentially. So yeah, I don't know who's running it, but yeah, it's probably for like a magazine or maybe Salt Lake Tribune or something
I
like
wonder
that.
if like
So
you guys are familiar with like the Slug, like it's that's the name of the magazine, but it's just the Salt Lake area
no,
magazine. Maybe it's something for that.
yeah, maybe it is. But yeah, I mean, definitely
Hmm.
jump in, vote for your favorite game store. Hint, wink, wink, hint, hint. We love Oasis. We love
Right,
we
right.
love Game Grid Lehigh. We love Game Grid North Ogden. We love Hearthside
Moonweight,
Games, right?
Moonweight Games.
Moonway Games, right? Keep shouting them out. I don't know. It
Shout out to
keeps
the little guys too.
yeah.
The stores that don't really have huge play areas, but still sell you cards.
Oh yeah,
Love
Salt
those
It's
guys
City
true.
too.
Games. That's the first one that comes
That's
to
a
my
good one.
mind. Salt City Games is great.
But
Kayfabe Games.
let's
Yeah.
post that in the Discord. We can
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
post that in the Discord.
absolutely.
So just a quick plug on that, right? Let's try to give these guys a little bit of notoriety, a little I'm sure that we'll post like the top X number. So, get in
yeah,
there, vote for your favorites, right? It's gonna be cool.
good deal.
We only have one other item on the agenda today, and that was something that Kevin brought up. So Kevin, do you want to talk to us a little bit about
Yeah,
the casual scene?
I would like to talk about the casual scene. So one of the things that I don't know, I'm passionate about,
Mhm.
but I find difficult to push forward. It currently is the casual scene locally.
Yeah.
I know that there is some interest in people coming to stores, coming to events for purely a casual setting. And I'm stuck trying to figure out how best to incentivize these kind of events. Um, so I want to hear people's opinions, honestly,
Hmm.
about how would we get people into the door to come to a card game that is by all nature a competitive thing,
Hmm.
but just to limit it in such a way where it's a casual event for newcomers or for those that aren't the sweaty gamers like us. um, and the easy thing that people always go to is the pricing, right?
Hmm.
But I feel like that's a catch 22 because the better your pricing, the more that people want to come and win that event,
They want
right?
to compete.
They want to compete and get the big prize. But if the pricing is too low, then no one wants to come, right?
Hmm.
It's not worth people's time. So, what is the balance? What is the incentive for people to come to casual events, and how do we best support that? Because I think we're losing a lot of that in Lorcana.
Hmm.
I know that there's a very strong competitive scene that's evidenced by DLC selling out and LCQ selling out, and people going to these events and it being streamed and televised and whatever happens on that side of it.
Yep.
But at the same time, we're losing store representation for Lorcana. We are losing stores carrying it in the
Hmm.
valley because people aren't showing up to the casuals. Like they're people aren't buying the product from the store, so they're going to stop carrying it.
Hmm.
And that tends to funnel all the product into certain stores where where the competitive scene is the most popular. And again, it kind of impacts the casual side. We need the casuals.
Hmm.
They're just as important as the competitive side, in my opinion. And I'm wondering how best can we support casual events and the casual community moving into the future.
Hmm.
Well, I just want to say that I think casual players are the backbone of
Yeah.
any game. They drive all sales, they drive everything. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
you got to cater to them sometimes. I think it's a difficult issue to actually quote unquote solve, right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
there's a couple limitations, one of them being space and the other being that if like you said, if you incentivize a prize, then the sweats come out and win it, right?
Hmm.
Sure.
So I don't know. And I think we would have to get with people that are in, like, I'm definitely outside of that group of players, right? I'm a
Right.
Hmm.
competitive player through and through. So I go
Same.
to these competitive events to try to win the best I can. So I think it would be interesting, get some insights from players that don't care about that, and they what incentivizes them to A, play the game, and B, show up to a game store.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's tough, right, too, because intrinsically, if you're playing casual, you usually don't have a lot of pricing because it's going to
Right.
be a lower cost price. And I mean, we just talked about how like game stores are a business and they're trying to make
sure.
money ultimately. So it's
They have
tough
to.
because you're like, well, I want to play casually, but I also don't want to spend a ton of money. And like the draft format for Lorcana is really expensive compared to the only thing I can compare it to is Magic the Gathering because
Sure.
Magic has play boosters versus collector boosters. And
Yeah.
so it's there's a difference of cost there where you can
Hmm.
pay $30 for two players to do draft, and then in Lorcana you have to pay $30 per player. So it's a very significant difference from a cost price point
Hmm.
for your casual player to come in and pick up the game and play. Very tough, right? I think hopefully something, Wilds Unknown may start to encourage something with this because they have their starter decks that are their two starter decks within, so that helps to
Hmm.
kind of create like a tournament feeling, right? Like, oh, I'm going to buy this combination of decks and I'm going to play against the person that has the other deck.
Sure.
And we're going to potentially play for like, a victory pack within or, whatever. And that kind of gives you a little bit more, oh, we're both going together, but we're paying together. And so, maybe it makes it a little bit more cost effective. And then they also have the new pre-release kits that are
Right.
coming out with Wilds Unknown as well. So maybe that's their method, thankfully Ravensburger is maybe thinking about this too, where, hey, how do we
Hmm.
get this casual scene going? And that could be it, right? Maybe it's just pre-release events. Because, honestly, the Winter Spell pre-release events, they were amazing. I thought they were a
They
lot of
were.
fun. And if they the stores supplemented a lot of the lack of prizing for the pre-release
Hmm.
events with their own, so that helped to make it
Right.
a little bit more fun experience. And I think that's what potentially we need to see. But also, I don't know, it's just really tough, right? Like I think
Hmm.
to your point, casual is very hard.
It can be tricky. And I think, I mean, they took a blow when they started reducing the amount of stuff that came in the play kits that were
Yeah,
released to the
I agree
stores.
with that a lot. Like
Hmm.
you get way less people that show up just to get their pin or their
Hmm.
whatever came in there, you know? They like that sort of thing. They like having one thing I'm going to attribute here is that they like having the like the merch, the like the
Hmm.
A
unique
swag.
objects, the like the if
Yeah.
I play then I get this, and I think it's really cool because I love Disney sort of things.
Yep.
Hmm.
And I think we're losing that. Another thing while I was just sitting here and kind of thinking about it is I'm so surprised there's not like a theme deck movie night for Lorcana,
Oh
you
yeah, that'd be
know?
Sure.
fun. Yeah, like we're
Yeah,
gonna do a
like
movie night, play the movie. You know what I heard about the movies though? Is I was talking with the owners of Hearthside, and there's actually a ton of like copyright concerns with playing a Disney movie. Because then you
that's
can't like take pictures of the event and post it
yeah,
because then Disney might come after you.
that sucks
Hmm.
because it's like it seems like it's such a free win to be like, hey, come to our Lorcana movie night. Like build a deck. We're going to be playing two movies. You can build a deck from either one, clash of the movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
Like we'll have Treasure Planet versus Moana tonight. I don't know.
yeah.
Something.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Well, and
I
then you
mean,
could do it. You just can't play the movie and then also then like post about it because
Yeah.
then you might get cease and desist from Disney. I mean, technically, I think you can buy like the rights to the movies in
Sure, but
theory,
that's
but
just
then
adding
yeah,
extra costs for very little gain.
yeah.
exactly. I mean, you can always play music, right? There's music is always an option because that's
Music
widely
is always
available.
also copywritten if you record it, right? Like that's the
Yeah,
other
but
concern. But
Mm,
if you're on stream or something, right?
yeah, so
But
I don't,
but then again, if it's a casual event, you're probably not going to be streaming it.
yeah,
But you
true.
will
no.
You're
want to
not,
share that, like, hey, we had 15 people come in for this. Like, the prizes were this, right? You could,
yeah.
but I think it goes back to we just need more things getting sent in like a OP kit. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
I mean, I
it
think
worked wonders to be like,
More things that are not a promo card because
right.
unfortunately the
yeah,
promo
right.
cards like there's
There's no
hundreds of
value.
them and there's just
Like,
no
what if
value of them.
they gave away like one per, like a couple per set, like because it's Ravensburger, right? Have you guys know
Hmm.
Villainous, like the little
Yeah, yeah,
like
Oh yeah. Hmm.
acrylic figurines? Maybe if they did that for like the iconics of each set, right? You had like
yeah.
a like think about it. This set you have like Pocahontas and Moana, just a
Hmm.
little bust or something.
Yeah,
I bet, and maybe only give it out to like casual events. That'd be
yeah,
kind of cool.
Absolutely.
You can't really control if a game store's like we're gonna have a competitive tournament for these things, right?
yeah.
That can
Yeah.
happen, which is fine to in my opinion. You should have game stores doing both, right? You should have a competitive focused one and a casual focused one. But I think they should. I think the easiest solve is for Ravensburger to just put more prizes in the OP kit
Yeah.
for casual play, right?
Hmm.
Your
Well,
win
I
rate
mean,
doesn't matter. Like it's I don't know, merit driven, it's community driven, it's raffle, who knows?
it's tough though
Right.
because there's even within the current OP kits, like yeah, there's not as much stuff, but I mean, I've gone to game stores that have their entire OP kit
Yeah.
and haven't given away a
Hmm.
single thing from it.
Not a single
So,
thing.
and
Right.
that to me is like just a waste in general, right? And so there's a lot of
Hmm.
that waste out there. So it's like tough to be like, hey, Ravensburger, give more stuff that's just going to sit in a drawer somewhere. And
I
then,
don't know. It's kind of easy to see the difference between like a box full of 500 stickers and, like a
oh no, I'm talking about boxes full of pins.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, I've
I
seen
mean this
stores like
like
that.
because this OP kit was it left a lot to be desired. You had
Well,
like
that's
four pins.
yeah, it sucks with them taking away the pins and stuff. I think that was the singular the singular worst thing they could have done for casual play, which
Yeah.
because the pins was what brought me and my family really into the game,
Right.
right?
People
And
wanted the pins.
yeah,
Especially like Disney's known for pin collecting, right? They
yeah,
sell pin collecting kits. Like,
right.
yeah.
So yeah, it was really frustrating when they did that with the pins. They need to
Hmm.
hopefully adjust that. I mean, I don't know how you change the cost of it. Like honestly, make smaller pins, I
I mean,
guess. Question mark. I don't know. Like
I
do
mean,
something. Do tons of little pins that you can give out. People will love them. Shoot, I even like when I went to a lot of the DLCs, a lot of the
mhm.
people at the DLCs did some super creative things with like just 3D printed stuff and
Right.
things like that, where like there was one where it was like a button for each color that you had to collect all the buttons and it created
Right.
this like master button of Lorcana. And so like maybe something like that that's less expensive. Game stores could potentially
Mhm.
partner with somebody who's like a 3D print artist potentially
Yeah,
and do something fun like that. I don't know.
uh there's a
I think
lot of
that's a
things
fun
you could
idea.
do, but I think most of them are going to have to be community driven.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
um if you're in that space, reach out to us, please. Like
Yeah.
tell us
We
what
want to
you would like
hear.
to see because I know there's non-competitive players that listen to us. So tell us
Yeah.
what's
I
going
mean,
on.
additionally, like, I mean, even if we're talking about stickers, I know we dunk on stickers a ton, right?
Yeah.
Because, but some people really like them.
Yeah.
My opinion is if you're gonna be doing stickers, do the stickers, but do them unique. Like,
Yeah.
give us a unique art. Don't just
Hmm.
do like a reprint of a card that already exists. We have
Well,
already
kids
seen
like
that.
stickers.
Yeah.
Kids love stickers. I give out
Yeah.
Pokemon stickers left and right at Game
Hmm.
Grid.
Yeah.
They love stickers. So that can be a really good incentive, but you just have to do it in a unique way. You
Mhm.
have to make it desirable in some way. And I think the collaborative button idea is awesome. Like,
Hmm.
because not only does it add a relatively inexpensive way to include something in a kit, but it adds a collectability element to it. Where
Yeah.
it's like, not only do I want a button, but I need all the
I
buttons,
think there
you
should
know?
be another thing I just thought of too. I think there should be like an emphasis on like trading
Yeah.
to like trading,
Mm-hmm.
not just cards, but trading like buttons, like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
pins. There was
Exactly.
a really cool thing that DLC Ghent did, and it was put on by Ravensburger, right? So they sent, those like the round steel pins with the like it's like a safety clip on the back, and you just
Yeah.
it's a pin,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
They had
Right.
one of each color, and you walked up to the desk, and they gave you six of a color, right?
Yeah.
So if you walk up, they hand you six steel pins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your goal was to trade with other players in the venue to get one of each color, and then you come back for a stamp.
Yeah.
I think that they should get away from doing like a stamp book and just hand you a promo or a like
Yeah.
an item immediately. But
Mm-hmm.
it was still cool because there were so many people in that area. Like, hey, there was the sweats that were like
Just
doing
trade
it as
right super hard.
just
Yeah.
doing it as quick as possible, like trading
Yeah. They're like, I
between
got to get to my
friends.
next event and I'm
Yeah, but it
hurrying
was
and
so cool
chasing.
to just sit down and be like, I'm trading steel. What do you have? And then you kind of get into a conversation with like, it was
Mm-hmm.
cool for us because it was like somebody from Europe or from, like
Mm-hmm.
there's French people there, there's Swedes there, there's Germans there. It's like you have a conversation with somebody you normally wouldn't. So
Yeah.
Right. And
that something like that can kind of come to mind too for me.
one of my favorite experiences, I have two experiences, and I'll try and go through them a little quickly, but is going to the DLC in Vegas and playing against one of the creators. Is it Ryan? His name? Steve? Steve?
Steve.
Steve?
Steve is usually the one playing Pack Rush and has his decks out and stuff.
Yes,
Hmm.
Steve. I was playing him, and then he's like, if you beat me, you get to pull a card and I'll sign it. Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, this has incentivized me not only to chat with Steve, but also to play him as many times as I possibly can in an event. And I
Yeah.
did. I played him like 4 times, five. There was one point during DLC Vegas where I was done with the main event and everyone was focusing on top tables, and I went straight to Steve and I played him like 6 times in a row. And like, because I just wanted to chat with him and play him, and that was a lot of fun. And it was completely casual, right?
Hmm.
The other thing is that during DLC Vegas, one of my opponents in like round 3 or 4, you may have seen him at other events, but he was fully dressed up to the nines as the chef from Ratatouille.
Hmm.
Nice.
He had the tall chef's hat, he had like the little mouse on his shoulder, everything. And I was like, this is a legit guy. Like he's definitely into this. But what happened is he and I were chatting. We're playing the same green steel deck. Shout out to Bucky, we love you. But
Rip.
Rip Bucky. But what happened is that he had made all these hand sewn badges. They're
Uh,
leather badges. And he said, if you beat me, you get to choose your color.
oh,
So I was like,
Wow.
sweet. So I ended up beating him, it's still a fun match. And he gave me one of them and we continued chatting. And at the end of the night, he was like, hey, dude, like, let's connect. Here's my Discord. I'll give you the rest of the badges. And I want you to start promoting this kind of stuff back where you go. And I was like, this is so cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like having those kind of small victories and small unique items that you can give away is something you could definitely do for the casual scene.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's like you need to like
At the end of
be
the day, like all of our points, like talking about it has come back to community. If there's a community,
hmm
there'll be a casual scene.
Yeah.
right.
I think it's community because the challenge is like the first thing that comes to my mind is funding, right? Like where do you
Hmm.
fund
hmm
these types of things?
Sure.
And if it's many people funding, it's easy. But if it's,
Hmm.
one or two people
One
funding, it
person.
becomes unsustainable.
If it's one
Uh-huh.
entity, like one game store funding it, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
unsustainable. But if the community comes together and funds it, then it's really easy
Yeah.
because it can
hmm
happen anywhere.
Yeah. So I don't
Right.
know. I think we'll have to hopefully we can get some comments to really kind of fund some ideas here. And then we can kind of be, I guess, a sounding board to an extent to try to
Sure.
broadcast this out to the world. But I agree. I think some sort of casual community that's able to come together um, would be really fun. And then we can find good ways to make this just a fun opportunity to play the game. Um, yeah, I think there's stuff to do for sure. And I think
hmm
giving out cards, giving away bulk is something that I personally
hmm
like to do
Hmm.
Right.
as like a way to give back to the community myself. So is there a way that we can incorporate stuff like that where everybody gets together? Do we have a card store that lets us do just a fun casual day, hanging out,
hmm
talking with people, teaching them how to play the game? I think we kind of, I think at Oasis, my family and I have like almost done that a lot every Sunday, or not every
Yeah.
Sunday, but every Sunday we go, I should say,
hmm
where we're there and we're like, hey, if you're brand new to the game, I'm going to teach you how to play the game. I'm not going to just run you over with a meta deck,
Here's
you know?
Right.
dogs.
Yeah, like
Enjoy.
here's dogs, have fun, like no, we're
Right.
we're gonna pull out like I pull out my gateway and I'm like, hey, let's learn the game and I'll play you
hmm
with this deck, you play me with that deck. It becomes a close game versus being like, all right, cool, he just ran me over 20-0 and I don't
Right.
know anything more about the game other than that color pairing is awesome. And I
Right.
think there's stuff to be said there, but yeah, I think hopefully we can find something and it has to be a hive mind, right? You can't just have one person running it. It has to be
Yeah.
like this, hey, we're running one here, or hey, we're running one here, or like, okay, Oasis is doing theirs on Sunday, and then um, you know, we can't be there this Sunday, and so maybe somebody else is doing one that everyone can go to, and basically we just need to be able to plug that and say like, this is the one that's currently active. Go there, focus all of your attention on this one. If you're not busy that day, go there and play.
hmm
And I think that's the tough spot is that the only ones that are incentivized to push and get there are the ones who are competitive players who want to win a thing.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so we need to try to find ways to fund the hobbyists to have
One
fun
thing
with it.
that
Right.
I've noticed that the DLCs they've been doing lately is kind of it's just Disney rather than Lorcana, right? And what I mean
Mhm.
by that is you'll like have this group or this area laid out for puzzles even or
Yeah.
at DLC again
Hmm.
they set up villainous so you could just play all these kinds of other things associated with Disney. Maybe Lorcana's not your thing, you're kind of interested in collecting the cards, like they're cool, but playing's not your thing. I don't know, maybe there's a space there for opening up the floor to people who just want to come out who love Disney.
Yeah, maybe it
Sure.
just becomes like
That's
a
a good idea.
Disney night, and then the crux of it is if you're playing Lorcana, you're playing Pack Rush. You're playing
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
Hmm.
playing a
something.
constructed deck, right?
Right.
Right.
But yeah,
Or
I
I
like
don't
mean,
know.
even
Let
if
us
there
know.
was 10 people that showed up to the event that wanted to play a seal too, like I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
You can do all sorts of things, but just maybe like the design of the event is just to hang out, right?
yeah. Just get
Yeah. I
together,
mean,
have some fun.
let us know, guys. Anyone in the community, we are open to ideas. We are here to support you guys. So let
And
us
I
know.
know each and every one of you competitive players knows somebody who's more into the casual scene too. So
Yeah.
Point them
ask
our
your
direction
friends
so
with
they can watch
kids.
and then give us more comments too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Please.
We need to create a hive mind. I think that's the key, right? Create this hive mind. That way we have pop up here, pop up there, pop up here, pop up there, and
Hmm.
then it becomes more and more of a community, right?
I agree, but great topic, Kevin. That was really good to bring up.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
solid
Appreciate it.
no worries,
topic.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
Awesome.
all I got. I think we're
Yeah,
out.
unfortunately we have some hard stops, so
Yeah, we're at
Yeah.
time. We're at a hard stop, but hey, we'll be back next week having some fun. So thanks a lot,
yep.
everybody who's able to listen and join, and we'll talk to you guys
Thanks
next
again,
week.
guys.
Enjoy.